All right, now we're recording. Okay, so for everybody who is watching the recording and was not able to be here live, I'm Angel Balance, and I am your coach and mentor in the Team Beachbody coaching world. And so my little part, my little team, I've named it Life Fit Nation, but we're part of a much larger family. So I want to make sure that you understand that when I'm referring to another, your team also being team made is like, think of it as a much like extended family. So you have your immediate family, and that's who we are. That's who I am, and that's who you, if you look at the faces in this video, you are all sisters in the business, okay? And then also, so that's sort of like for you, those of you who are already in my challenge groups, and you know that I work very closely with Janice right now. Janice is my success partner. We choose to run our businesses together, but she's also part of the Team Made family, and I consider her my sister, right? Because we are together within the much larger Team Made family. And so when you, many of you have already met Melissa McAllister, or at least seen her from be recognized in local events, or maybe you've seen her within the Team Made coach group that I've already added you to or referenced her before. She is our upline, our Star Diamond upline. And so what that just means is that she's just sort of, think of her, we kind of lovingly and affectionately refer to her as like our grandmama, right? So she's just, it just means that she is when to go, like, let's say if you have, if you were to have ask me questions, if I don't know the answer, it's my responsibility to research it and find out. And if I need help with my business, I reach up to her. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay. So I'm seeing you nod yes, because I did mute you. So, okay. So I just want to make sure that first you understand the family that you're a part of. And that's why we do refer to it as a team family, because we want to make sure that we are cultivating an environment and a culture within our team, our small team, but then also a larger team, of knowing that we belong to each other and that we can work together to like benefit each other within the business, right? So we're here for each other and to learn from, and to lean on. Okay. So we're not in competition with one another, because the stronger we are together, the stronger we are individually. Right? So I firmly believe in, let's say that between the 6 of you that were invited into this call, and I see 3 of you are here. So let's say that between Caroline, Mel, and Kathy, you 3 start paying attention to what y'all are doing. You should be cheering each other on. You should be friending each other on Facebook right now and Instagram, and cheering each other on and supporting each other in your posts, and getting to know each other and learning from each other, like what's working well for one, like if you see Caroline really rocking something, then be like, hey girl, what are you doing? Because you're doing really well. And like, I feel really hesitant or intimidated in that area of my business. What are you doing to make it look so easy? And you can glean from what she maybe comes naturally to her, or she's learned from someone else, and then vice versa, right? So you're able to exchange notes and strengths, and really grow individually as well as a team unit. So everyone, of course, is though starting at a different place in their business, right? Some of you are coming in, you maybe have signed up as a coach before, and maybe you even started to create something of it, but then you stepped away. Some of you are brand spanking new. You have no idea. You're just now starting to kind of peel back. Some of you have been in the challenge groups experience for several months, and some of you are in your very first month. So many of you are starting, you're each starting in your own place. And so I want to extend the grace to you to grow in your own time and according to your own learning curve and your own skill set. Because the number one thing that you could do to stall yourself or hold yourself back is to try to place limiting factors on yourself by comparing your growth and your journey to somebody else's. Just like in your fitness journey, you would never expect to be able to accomplish the very same things with your health and fitness as the next girl who's been in it for 5 years, right? Or even 5 months, or maybe she started with already having a foundation of fitness, and you were starting with not doing anything before. So everyone has their own grace, you know, their own learning curve, their own process. I like to think of it as like a process, right? And so be patient with yourself and don't compare yourself to your journey to someone else's, right? And definitely don't compare your journey to mine. And oh my gosh, if you take off and you just like surpass where I'm at, I'm going to cheer you on big time. Okay. So don't feel like you have to set pace with what I've done or what Melissa's done or what one of these other ladies on this call is doing 3 weeks from now, 3 months from now, 3 years from now with their business, because their business is their business. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's none of your business what pace they go at or what they think of your business. You see what I'm saying? So, go at your own pace is the point. So I'm going to cover specific things tonight. The very first thing that I want to make sure that you understand are your very first goals, your very first goal that you want to start setting your eyes on if you are wanting to create an income with this opportunity. Okay. And yes, I'm going to talk about income because it's part of what we do. And so, but everything that creates an income is actually representative of impacting a life. So I just want you to keep that in mind, where my heart is and where I understand your hearts are, because I know all of you personally, and I know where your hearts are. You have a heart for other people. You first have had some kind of experience that you're like, oh my gosh, this has made a difference in my life, and I want to pass it on to someone else. There is absolutely no reason why you should not be deserving of an income or a payback or from serving and giving of yourself. Okay. So I know that many of you're going to feel like your immediate limiting thought is going to be that I don't deserve, or I can't believe that I'm having to ask somebody to spend $160 on a challenge pack. I'm not worth $160. But I need you to remind yourself, you are you are worth a heck of a lot more than $160, baby. You really are. Your time and your effort and the heart and the time, the time alone that you are willing, that I know each of you are willing to just, if somebody truly wants help, to jump on a phone and help them, or sit down next to them at work as they're asking you questions. That is a service, and there's absolutely no reason why you should not be able to give that and say, hey, my service to you is free, but what I use to get these great results that you're asking for is only going to cost you the cost of these products over here. And so you need to start to become confident and comfortable with letting people know that they need to make an investment in themselves by purchasing the product. And you and your support and everything you provide is 100% free with that purchase, right? But you're limited to how much you can help them outside of those products, because you would never go to a hairstylist and say, I don't want to pay you. Look, Mel is going to laugh at me because she knows. I just went to the same salon she goes to, and it was the first time that I had done like color, paid a professional to do color. Okay. I'd done haircuts, but not color in a very long time. And so I was like expecting something. I'm not going to say this very loud because my husband has not seen the bill, but I was expecting something in the 180 to 250 range. It was over 300. So I was a little shocked, but I'm not going to go walking into that salon and expect $300 results. And by bringing her a $7 box of hair color from Walmart and say, can I just use this instead? Can you color my hair with this instead? No, she can't, because she would not be able to guarantee me the results. She can guarantee me the results with the products that she recommends and uses and get success with over and over and over again. They're proven, right? Same thing, same situation here. With the products and the resources and the tools that you are offering through Beachbody, we are teaching people lifestyle change. We are teaching them how to take care of their health and their fitness and make it a real thing. And the fact of the matter is, if they are not, I don't care where they look, they are never going to get a more nutritious, dense shake as Shakeology, disease-fighting shake, right? They're not going to find it anywhere. And so if my job is to help them see the value in what it is that they're investing in, if that is an objection that is coming up, that starts to eat away at my confidence. If I start to dip in confidence in that area, it means I haven't done my research enough to be able to explain with confidence the value in what it is that I offer. And I always need to go back to, well, what was my personal experience with it? What has been how do I feel when I make sure to drink my Shakeology daily? What are the differences I've noticed beyond weight loss? Okay, beyond the number on the scale, because it's so much more than that. Okay, so your very first goal is going to be helping 3 people each month invest in a challenge pack to help them get started on their journey. Challenge pack and or Shakeology, or a performance stack, which is the pre and post workout. Okay, all of those options will get you what we call Success Club points. Your goal is to reach Success Club 5, but in 1 month. So that's 3 people, and each one of those options earns you 2 points, which would put you at Success Club 6. If someone was to buy from you either a performance, instead of a whole performance stack, like where they buy the pre and post workout at the same time, let's say that they said, I want to order that Energize, but then I also want to order some of this Hydrate, but I don't want the protein shake. And they order them like at separate times because they just don't they're intimidated by the sticker price. They want to buy what they want to buy, little bit here. That will combine to create 1 point. So you see how that works? So make sure it's going to go into more detail in your back office, but I want you to first recognize that your first goal, your first short-term mini goal, is to reach Success Club each month. Start at trying to reach 5 points, which is 3 people. And then as your confidence grows and as you get more and more versed at being able to make posts and personal invites and have more conversations, and you start to have more consistency, more and more referrals, word of mouth referrals, people are going to start coming to you. And then you get comfortable with reaching Success Club 5 or 6, your next goal is going to be 10. But let's just start at 5. At Success Club 5, every month, your Shakeology is paid for you personally, because you've made back in commissions what you pay as a coach for your monthly Shakeology. So if you want to think of it like that, if you're a numbers person and you want to think about like your reimbursement, that's the financial reimbursement or the perk of earning Success Club. The other perks of Success Club every month is that you're earning a trip. When you hit it consistently, then your goal is to hit it every month. Your goal is to hit it every month. There is a little bit of grace built in within from corporate, within Team Beachbody. They give you certain mile markers. So but I have my dates up here. So you want to make sure you have at least 10 points earned between January and March of every year, and at least 15 points by the time you get between January and June, and then 20 points by the end of September. Okay, so there's grace. You don't have to be exactly perfect, but you definitely want to try to reach those goals of every month, but they add up. And as long as you hit those quarterly goals, you have earned a right to go on the trip. Obviously, the more points that you earn, more of your trip is paid off for you. So the more points you earn, you could literally have a free all-inclusive trip. You follow me? So that's one of the long-term, perks of the immediate goal of reaching Success Club, or having that Success Club goal every single month, trying to hit it. right? And it's totally doable. In your very first month, which by the way, if you hit it in your first 3 months of signing on as a coach, you are considered a success starter. And Team Beachbody gives you a free ticket to Coach Summit, which is our annual conference, our Coach Summit. Now, Mel recently purchased her ticket to Coach Summit, but and Caroline, unfortunately, you signed on as a discount coach first, so you kind of passed your 3-month period. But Kathy could technically still earn it if she had time. She has time, and same thing would go for a couple of the other girls that would be listening to this replay. So it is absolutely totally doable to hit Success Club in one day. But if you want to try to just kind of break it down, think of it as one person in the very first week, one person in the second week of the month, and then the third person in the third week of the month, so that in the fourth week you can sit back and be like, yay, I made Success Club, and just chill through and start new conversations with people so that you are setting yourself up for success for the first week of the next month. You see how that works? So you can totally use it, do it at your own pace. And that's why I said, like, there's a grace for this. Some people they start off like, you know, right out the gate, they go roaring into it and they immediately start earning like crazy numbers. So if you went to the Super Sunday with like Mel and Caroline, you were at Super and you heard those crazy numbers. Some ladies, they sign up and they're earning Success Club 20 in their first month. And I mean, like, okay, but that was their goal. So don't let anybody else's goal, just determine what your goal is. But if you have like big dreams and big income goals, then it starts with Success Club. Okay. All right. So the next thing that I want to cover is your long-term goals. And the way that you're going to start looking at your long-term goals is going to be also going to impact your income, but in a different way. Your long-term goals are going to be about hitting certain ranks, what we call ranks, okay? And that is all going to be about how many other new coaches you are able to sign up to join your team. Not my team, your team. But they are still going to be within our team family, and they are always going to be able to plug into my challenge groups. I'm able to mentor both you as you mentor them, and we all work together. So take a deep breath. Don't be scared that I just said that you might be signing up new coaches for yourself, if that's part of your long-term goal. If your long-term goal is to set up residual income and not just commission income, then building a team is what you want to do. You want to start thinking about, you know, as you're signing up new customers, which of these new customers either would like to sign up for the discount that would benefit them first, and that would be they just like the savings of 25%, duh, and they know they're going to want to continue using the product because they fell in love with it. Well, then by the end of their first 30 days as a customer, by their second, third, fourth week, if you didn't offer it from the very get-go when they signed up, you definitely on the second or third week, if they're like, oh my gosh, I love this stuff and I definitely noticing a difference and I'm feeling it and I know I'm going to want to order it again, I'm immediately going to say, well, then you should sign up for the discount so that you can earn the savings. And then it may be that, you know, they get interested and they're kind of like, hey, I like Kathy, she's already technically coaching someone right now, but she's just not getting reimbursed for it. And she now is going to have the tools to physically put in this person's hands so that she can even more effectively mentor her through her health and fitness journey. And she's going to be able to be rewarded with a commission now. But also she can offer this girl a discount, right? Now, but let's say, you know, that person also becomes inspired to become a coach. Well, then that's an organically grown coach. They were a customer first, and now they're like, I want to do what you do. I want to be more involved in the challenge groups. I want to help people too. I want to earn a little income back. I want to get my Shakeology paid for every month. That's a great time to sign them up as a coach and then get them plugged into this type of training, like where we're getting started right call, getting them into the next thing, which is your Teammate University. So write that down. Teammate University is our hub for team trainings within our Teammate family. So what Melissa McAllister has done is just a couple years ago, she had an entire new coach university developed for all of her downline to be able to utilize. So yes, you have trainings in the back office, and you are welcome to use that if that is your language. Like if that is how you learn and that's the way you want to learn, it's all laid out, very corporate style, and it's all great information and it is exactly the steps that you need. But if you enjoy learning in like a video, from another person who's in it, you know, then what Melissa has done is she has either herself made the video or she has partnered with and asked other top coaches within the company to, can I take your training that you did and include it in my university so that my coaches, my whole coach family can learn from other coaches within the organization? And they have said yes. So you're literally able to learn from the best of the best. Now, not to say anything against the corporate training, because the corporate training is actually always highly influenced by the Coach Advisory Board, the CAB, which are all top coaches who are sharing best practices with corporate and influencing them in what they put in the Coach Online office for the trainings. So it's just way I think of it is it's two approaches. It's definitely going to be dependent on your learning style. While I will recommend that you first start with Teammate University and then use Coach Office as your backup. Like if you're in the Teammate University trainings and they're talking about sneak peeks and recruiting, or they're talking about residual income and team bonuses, team cycle bonuses, and you're kind of like, you're still kind of scratching your head and you feel like you need to go more in depth, I would then jump into the Coach Online office. And utilize that as the backup. And then if you still are like, reach out to me, okay? And we'll go into it in more to make sure that you understand how it works. But your long-term goals are those rank goals. So your very first rank for long-term goal that you can hit this month, right now, right off the bat, is to sign up 2 coaches, okay? So that would be a lot of people. If, like for me, I signed up my husband, and I signed up my brother. And if these are people that they know, like it, they love you, they want to support you in your business, and they're by signing up people who are your family like that, you are able to better kind of control or keep the top of your business stable. Okay, we're going to go in more detail about that within your Teammate University trainings and as we move forward and I do more calls like this. But when you're building a stable business, you want to start, one of the first lessons that I learned that I didn't learn right away, but I learned a little bit later and I quickly implemented it, was in order to create stability, I needed to have one, because your business is what we call legs. So you're at the top and you have a left leg and a right leg. And I signed up my husband on one leg and my brother on the other leg, and all other coaches flood under them. And since my husband and I share a bank account, then I benefit double from the volume that is generated on that leg. And then my brother just is there as a placeholder to make sure that I always hold an emerald rank. I will never, ever, ever drop at the minimum my emerald rank, which emerald rank starts to give you the residual income. Is the first level of residual income. It starts the team cycle bonuses, which is just what it sounds like. It's a bonus that is paid to you every time you hit certain markers within your volume, okay? Your volume comes from the orders that your customers and your coaches' customers and your coaches' customers, and as you build your team out, every time they make orders, those dollars convert to what they call volume, and the volume, once it reaches a certain balance, it cashes out a certain dollar amount into your bank account on top of your regular commissions from your new customers and coaches that you signed the first time. Does that make kind of sense? And then after Emerald, you grow on to either Ruby and Diamond, and all of those are step-by-step in your Teammade University. So, but your very first long-term goal is going to be Emerald. And when I say long-term, I mean your goal is within 30 days, ideally, to go ahead and hit Emerald so that you can start building that residual income. Until you hit Emerald, you do not bank volume at all. But think of it as like a savings account. Once you hit Emerald, you are always going to be reserving and adding volume points in there. And as soon as it reaches that certain number balance, it cashes out. And then it builds and builds and builds and builds, and it cashes out again. So obviously, the quicker you move in this business, the more quickly you cash out over and over and over and over and over again, and you make more volume, more income more quickly. But if you're going at a slower pace, that's fine, but you'll just see those bonuses hit your paycheck a little more spaced out. Okay? All right. So what I will encourage you to do is go, whenever I add you into the Teammade, or if you have ever gone into the Teammade Coach Sneak Peek, Melissa McAllister shares her income progression very openly, and it's very inspiring to see. So you can see she's very honest. Okay, in my first year, I didn't even make but a couple, maybe $160, I think she says, and then it doubles, and then it doubles again, and then next thing you know, as she's being able to open more and more business centers, which you'll get into that as you grow past Diamond, she starts to quadruple, because that's residual income multiplying on your behalf. So that's when you get kind of beyond Diamond. Your next benchmark that you really are reaching for is 2-star Diamond, because once you reach 2-star Diamond, that's when you're able to open up like a whole nother business center, and you are able to now literally run 2 businesses at the same time. So think of it as a franchise. You are able to franchise yourself. Does that sound good? Kind of, sort of? Okay, but again, don't be afraid to start small and start where you are, because everyone has to start there. Every single top superstar Diamond coach that is making like millions of dollars now and thousands of dollars a week, they started with their very first $30 commission, right? So you've got to start where you are and be willing to grow from there. Start with reaching out to the people who know, like, and trust you, and who are already curious and asking you, like, what is it you're drinking? What is it that you've been doing? Why are you eating like that? What kind of workouts am I seeing you do on Facebook? And you just be willing to share. And so that leads us into, let's see, I've covered the long-term goals, making sure you're plugged into Teammade University, which is linked inside the Life Fit Nation team page in the description. I made sure to bump it up so you can find it. But then it's once you finish that, or the first 30 days, I want you to set up a one-on-one call with me. So from there, we can really talk about at what pace you want to grow your business and what your actual goals are. Because you're each going to have your own individual idea of what you want to do with this. You know, if you want it to be sort of just like this little hobby, kind of like let people come to me, and every now and then I make a little extra, and that's good. Or if your focus is going to be more like you want to start to build towards those long-term rank goals that I talked about, or if you want to like totally bust that out the water and go crazy and build it really fast. So there's so many different paces you can go. And I want you to make sure that you are, after you are doing the training and gotten through that first set of information, you're reaching out to me. Because if I did a one-on-one call with each of you, like right now, all the questions you would be asking me will be answered by you completing the first new coach training in TMU. So by the time you get done with that, most of your first questions are going to be answered naturally as you go through. And we're going to be in the meat by the time you get to your next one-on-one. Now, that doesn't mean that you are not free to message me anytime in the middle of, and especially like Caroline, you already had people asking you how to order. You were like, okay, what do I do whenever somebody actually wants to order? Or when they're asking me about, what I'm doing and how do I do that? And how do I talk about it? And how do I send them a link to sign up? Absolutely. I'm here for that. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be like, oh, I have to wait till I get through TMU. No, like if someone's interested, do it, And the other thing that I want you to start doing right away is sharing your journey on social media. Now, Mel is doing really awesome with this. I can tell you right now. I've seen her grow like big time. She's sharing more and more in her Instagram stories as well. But just that simple post of every day, she's doing her workout. And even if it's sometimes now she's actually showing some little clips and some little yoga poses and little motivation with it. And I love that she always has a faith-based, like a scripture or something with it that's very motivational, tied to her personal journey. It's not just a generic, like, I'm doing a fitness program, here's a scripture, have a great day. She's like, I remember whenever I couldn't do this. And she's reflecting on what value she's getting in her life, in her own fitness journey. And that is going to help people relate to her as a real person and see their own potential in her living it out loud in front of them, right? So it's kind of like when you go house shopping. When you walk and when you are looking for a new home to live in and they tell you to stage your home and clear the clutter out so that when people walk in, they can start to imagine what it's like to actually live in that home. Well, when you're sharing your journey on social media, when you're sharing your workout, when you're saying, oh, I just had a really long day and I, wanted to eat a nutritious meal, but I had no energy to cook. And I made my shake, and I love my shake because it helps, ABC. And then you're actually showing them an idea of what that lifestyle looks like that they can start to imagine what it would be like to feel that energy that you're talking about, to be able to see, do a push-up on their toes or do a kick through, and like that. Otherwise they would be like, oh my God, I could never do that. But when they hear you talking about where you were to where you are now to where you want to be, then they start to be able to relate to your dreams, because I guarantee you they have those same desires and dreams in their heart. They just don't speak it out loud. And that's where you are becoming the leader, by just being willing to be transparent and authentic and share what you're doing. You're not claiming to be an expert, so you don't have to be nervous about that. You're just simply living out as you are on your journey and you're sharing it. And that's just being a really great friend, first of all. Yeah. And being willing to make mistakes and learn from them, but still staying in it and being consistent. That is going to go further in their mind than anything else. A lot of people, because one of the first things that I say that, you're going to hear over and over is you need, consistency. You need to learn to be consistent, and consistency breeds confidence. And the more and more you post and the more you share your journey and the more consistent you are, then the more people are going to know, like, and trust you for themselves to actually reach out and ask you for help or make that purchase or whatever. And that is absolutely true. But consistency does not mean perfection. And that is where I feel like so many new coaches start to trip up. They start to think, well, I can't post about the cake that I just ate, or I can't show that I eat pizza, or I can't show that I messed up and binged, or, that I'm an emotional eater and I totally, bombed this weekend on my new meal plan. I can't share that I haven't worked out in 2 weeks or 2 months, because then I'm not consistent. No, the next part of the consistency journey is I know how to put the tools and resources back into place to get back in my healthy lifestyle and back into the things, the health habits that I know create the success that I was having before I got off. You see what I'm saying? The inconsistency that breeds distrust is when you're flip-flopping from one thing to the next to the next. Oh, right now I'm going to do this fad diet. Then now I'm going to go and do this fad diet. And now I'm going to take this pill. And now I'm going to do over here. I'm going to try this thing over here. And I'm going to see, like I can lose 5-10 pounds with this one, but then I'm going to gain it all back. And then I'm going to say, oh, well, that didn't work for me. So now I'm going to try this one over here. That's what breeds distrust. People are waiting sometimes and watching to see how long are you going to stick with this new thing, because to them, it looks like another fad diet. It looks like another pill you buy off the shelf, or a wrap that you can, put on your body, or a little thing, but they don't, what they are waiting to see is, okay, is this really going to help her get somewhere? How long is she going to stay with it? Is she going to achieve any kind of success with it? And can she keep it going? Because not to judge you, but to judge for sure if they want to try it for themselves and if they believe that they could ever do it for themselves. Because a lot of times people are really afraid of their very own failure. And so if you fail, they go, see, if she couldn't do it, I know I wouldn't be able to do it either. You see what I'm saying? But so they're not looking for you to be perfect, but they are looking for you to be transparent and show them that you know how to get right back on track, that you know the tools and the resources, the systems to plug yourself right back into in order to keep moving forward instead of moving backwards or always being tossed with the waves and never getting anywhere. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so don't get stuck in this mindset of I gotta be perfect. Just know that the only thing you need to do is always be moving forward. And if you get stuck, knowing to reach out to me, to your sisters, to the challenge group, and making sure that you are allowing yourself to be held accountable and staying in it. Which brings me to the next and final point, which is to make sure that you are plugged into the challenge group and you are the best dang challenger that ever was. You need to be like a professional, permanent challenger, because that is not only going to fuel the posts that you're going to be making on your social media publicly, but it is going to also help you stay consistent and successful in your own journey. And it's going to give you the experience that you're going to need when you start to coach others. And when you start to bring new people into the challenge group who are signing on as customers or new coaches of you, they're going to be looking to you, not me. They're first going to always be looking to you. I'm going to be a stranger to them, right? So you can point and you can say, well, you see how Angel's doing that? And because I do that with Melissa, I say, oh, you see how, I did that for a very long time. I pointed to my upline. But then I realized not everybody related to my upline because they related to me first. So they need to see me doing what I do. And when they need something outside of me, that's when I point up, right? And so the first thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is, and y'all are, many of you are already doing it, but making sure you're doing your daily check-in. I did a workout, I did my shake, right? If you're having a struggle that day, sharing the struggle. If you had a win that day, share the win. Encourage your people, of course, that you're inviting into the challenge group, but encourage other people, and then sign out for the day, okay? But make sure that every day you're clicking a like button and you're making a comment and you're showing up for yourself in such a way that they see you showing up. Because as leaders, okay, and the instructor friends in the group know this because I've talked about this many times, if I don't show up with 120% energy, right, then none of the people in my class are going to ever show up with the same amount of energy I have. So if I show up with 100% energy, they're always going to be 75 to 50% energy. So I want to show up like 125% on my very best days, so that some of them will meet me at that 100% level, or at least 80. And those people that would normally just come in halfway, they're now up at 75. They're more willing to give more of themselves and be their very best self if I'm committed to being my very best self. And that's where the motivation comes from. When people start commenting and saying, oh, you're so motivating, you're so inspiring, they are seeing what they could be, what they want for their life. They're seeing something in you that they're like, man, I want that kind of enthusiasm about fitness. I want that kind of smile on my face when I just felt like I was dying at the end of a workout, but they don't understand it. So it intrigues them and it inspires them and it motivates them to want to like do more of what you're doing to somehow get that same thing, But if you are in and out and wishy-washy and sometimes there and sometimes not, guess how much they're going to show up for their own journey, because they're like, oh, well, if she's not really doing it, and you could be, but if you're not posting about it, it's kind of like, when they say it didn't really happen until you post it on Facebook. It's the same thing with the challenge group. It's the same thing with the challenge group. If I was to not comment at all, y'all would start questioning, like, what's up with Angel? I wonder if she, yeah, you would either think something was really wrong in my life personally, and, because you love me and you would not think bad of me immediately. But then after a little while, if I did it all the time, where I was sometimes in and sometimes out and sometimes showing up and sometimes not, I would start to look like a fake, right? So the way to be consistent and to help other people to be consistent is to be committed to showing up daily. And that helps you stay consistent to you, but also inspire others to be consistent for themselves. All right. So I think that is it. And now I can open it up. So I'm going to unmute everybody and
I can't. Okay, I can't hear you.
I can hear
myself. Now you can. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going?
So to recap real quick and make sure that you got all the points. First point was grow at your own pace, right? Second was your first short-term goal, which is
3 challenge packs a month.
Yeah, 3 people. Just think
three people.
3 people.
3 people.
3 people with either a challenge pack or Shakeology or a performance stack.
Yeah.
But that's your short-term goal. Your first immediate short-term goal, Success Club, 3 people. Long-term goal. First long-term goal is hitting Emerald.
Yeah.
Your Emerald rank, which is signing up 2 people.
Coaches.
2 coaches. Either for for a discount or somebody else who wants to start coaching. Next point was make sure you're plugged into Teammade University, which is going to help you actually achieve both the short-term and the long-term goals, and help you start to understand how to post to social media, which was the next.
That's what I need help with.
Yeah.
You're going to learn more about that in TMU. And I'll make sure that I share things in Facebook. I'll tell you, I'm going to share a resource in my team page for y'all to borrow. Okay. And I can tell you that Melissa is very gracious and she is like a nutrition nerd, right? So if you read any of her posts and subscribe to her posts on Facebook, and you can see a post about something that is like really fascinating, nutrition-wise or whatever, she's given us full permission to copy paste that and take the credit. Like,
wow.
just share the
Awesome.
information.
That sounds-
She's like,
Yeah.
she's like, share the information, put it in your own words. If there's the way that she's wording it, or like for me, I always have to take the cuss words out because that's not part of way I talk. You know, like people would look at me weird if I started sharing all the, you know, so you have to proofread it and make sure it sounds like you, right? But you can, I like to look at her stuff and learn from some of the nutrition stuff that she's sharing instead of going and researching some of it on my own. If I'm reading something that she's sharing already that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really cool, I'll copy it and just add a little tidbit before or after or in the middle that relates to my story and why I'm sharing it. So I personalize it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So make it fit your personality. But that's a great another little place. But I'm going to share a resource in my team page that is going to help you guys big time with just at least making sure you have at least that one post every single day and helping you like create your own voice, you know, kind of your own brand is what we call it. You are your brand. So don't let that scare you, but we're going to talk about
that in this group.
I'm going to share that within, I'm going to share that in my team page, in the Angels Life at Nation Coaches family page.
Okay.
Because it's just for it's really just a resource that I pay for that. So I want to make sure I just share it with you guys. I don't share it publicly with everybody.
Okay.
Right. But it makes my life easier. And I think whenever I started utilizing it, I was like, oh, this is awesome. This would be really great. I wish I would have had this as a new coach so I would kind of know how to craft posts. But it helps you start to brainstorm about your own story and like how to share your story with the journey. You know, like instead of just saying, this was a really great workout and I burned such and such many calories. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's awesome information and people do get motivated by that. But what they mostly get motivated by is they want to, what you are personally getting out of it and how it relates to your struggles.
Yeah.
Right.
What is it helping you overcome in life? How is it making your life better? Right. So depending on who you talk to, some people are attracted to my posts because I talk about overcoming physical limitations from me having an injury. Some people are attracted to my stories because they relate to the emotional and binge eating aspect of my nutrition struggle. You know, some people relate to me because I'm a busy mom and I like simple meals. I'm not like a big, crazy Betty Crocker person, you know? So I'm not a Martha Stewart in the kitchen. And some other people are like that. Some other people prefer to have the big fancy recipes that have like 5+ ingredients. I'm like 3 or less, please. You know, like that's just me. But it doesn't mean that I don't serve people who want those. If they want that kind of life, I refer them to Fixate because the chef, Autumn's brother Bobby, does a great job of sharing those kind of recipes, you know? So, what else?
So I do have a question.
Yeah.
So you said like our first goal is to try to like get 3 people each month. And then, so do you form a group with each month with all your new, how do you keep track of like, let's say you've added 3 people for 6 months now, how do you keep up with that and track that progress and, you know, not lose people, not lose where you are with all that?
Okay. So to start out with, really simple, have a notebook. And each time that you open up a challenge group, I make my list over and over again every month. Like I go through now you all are plugged into the group, right? You all have been participating and plugged into the April group. And now we're getting ready for the May group. And so I went through all my list of all you guys who are who've been active in the group. And I go in your online office, in your coach online office, it lists out all your customers that have ever signed up with you ever. Oh, I forgot to mention that. That was another thing was like once you start hitting Success Club, Beachbody starts giving you free leads as an Emerald. And then and Success Club, you're hitting Success Club and your Emerald, they give you free leads. And then once you start getting Success Club 10 instead of just Success Club 5, they give you customers who are making purchases, and you make the commission off of those purchases.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then you have the opportunity to connect with them. And if they want a coach, and these are people who like, they signed up, they went to the, beachbody.com and they called the 1-800 number and they said, I want to order that Transform 20 challenge pack that I saw advertised on Instagram or Facebook or TV or whatever. And then, Beachbody says, okay, they want to make sure every single customer is connected to a coach that is willing to have one. And they will randomly assign it to all the coaches who have achieved Success Club.
Okay.
Right.
So how do they alert you? How do they alert you of these leads?
Because in your Coach Online office, every time somebody makes a purchase, it alerts you to say you have a new customer.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And they've made a purchase, and it shows you what they purchased, so you know what they've been interested in. You can start interacting with them on what their goals are, and if they want to be a part of your challenge group. And then you can start forming that relationship with them. Sometimes they don't, and and a lot of times they don't, and that's why they chose. But it's important that you try to make that first connection to let them know that who you are and that you are there for them if they ever change their mind. Sometimes they're super private people.
Yeah.
And they don't know you from Adam, but they might start stalking you on Facebook and start to get to know you.
That's okay.
Right?
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angel.
Yeah, you're welcome.
For me, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm kind of feeling like a little overwhelmed, only because I feel, I teach full time. So this has taken maybe 60 hours a week teaching and lesson planning and doing all that. And I'm learning, to be a turbo kick instructor. I am a turbo kick instructor. I have 3 classes and keeping up with that. And so I'm like, okay, how do I balance all of this? How much time is it going to take for me to do each thing? Well, 60 hours a week is already with school, not including travel back and forth.
So the first thing that I'm going to suggest is that you flip the script every time you start to feel like you're stressed or you're overwhelmed.
Every day.
To change, and when you hear yourself start to tell yourself, this is too much, I have so much to do, instead you change the language to, I'm so excited to that I get to do that, but it immediately releases a different reaction in your brain.
Able to sleep. Yeah. That's the problem.
I know. So, and then
I get
once you get the perspective shift and you've decided to be excited about it, the next step is, okay, I need to get real about my calendar. You're going to start looking at your calendar, some of the things that we've been talking about in the challenge group, but applying it to your business as far as looking at it. And some of the stuff in TMU is going to really help you with that, with what we call action hours or power hours. And so the very first one that you can kind of see as an example is actually being hosted. I shared the link. Christine Steins is going to be hosting the one this week for our team. And they show, even if you just showed up and you participated in the parts that you know how to participate in, but for the rest of the time, you're actually watching and listening to understand how they go through it. There's something in your Coach Online office that is called a business activity tracker. Okay. And that is what you're going to use for your power hours. Again, it's taught to you in Teammade University, but it's going to show you how to maximize your time to do all these little behaviors to helping you get the Success Club points and finding the customers, the people, and helping them sign, post your social media and all those things, and doing all the things that you should be doing that I just shared with you. And the idea is that if you do it the way it's lined out, and how they do it, how Christine will model it for you in the live power hour or action hour, It
Mhm.
should take no more than an hour of your day, and you can break that up. You can do it in like 20-minute pockets of time. You can do, make it fit your day. Like maybe the first 20 minutes of your day, you make sure you're taking care of, like in your drive time, you're doing your personal development, which is one of the things
Mhm.
they're going to tell you about. You're putting the positive message in your mind. And then like 10 minutes, maybe before you got in the car, you spent making a post for the day. Or, maybe you weren't inspired to make that post until lunchtime. That's fine. Maybe at
Yeah.
bedtime before you fall asleep, you take 10 minutes to use the template that I'm going to share with you to craft and schedule a post for the next day.
Right.
So it's already done ahead of time.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking this morning, because, for instance, I posted something just about, Mondays. I like to post something on Mondays.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I should have put like that in my notes so that I can copy and paste it instead of doing it first thing in the morning. So
Yeah.
then I'm like rushing out the door to go to work and
Yeah.
time management.
Yeah. So it's all, and
That
time
line looks
management
good.
is one of the trainings in your Teammate University. So it really does help you kind of know, like, figure it out for your life, how to make, but all those success habits are what we call them vital behaviors, because they're vital to you actually being successful and making an income. Right. And
Yeah.
so
That sounds awesome.
it's gonna start with you identifying, like, okay, what do I want to do with this, and why do I want to do it why do I want to do it, so that
Right.
when it comes time to doing the actual things, that is what is going to be feeding your motivation to actually do it,
Right.
and with enthusiasm. So it's not like, I've got to do this. It's, I get to do it, and knowing what it creates, and
Sure.
when you stack it up,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds good. Yay!
Yes.
Yay.
Yay.
So the
Yeah,
immediate,
you're definitely not alone, Caroline.
I am
A little
excited.
overwhelmed too.
Yeah.
so, and I mean, you guys feel free to use either the chat thread that I already created with you guys, sharing that little story example.
Yes.
Where is that?
Would y'all like it if I share things like that whenever I do that?
And where did you share that? In this group?
No, it was in a little chat thread. So like the messenger chat bubbles.
Okay.
There was one that I created, and I said, I said graphics you can use. Or something
Yes.
like that.
the
That's what I
Canva.
named it. Yeah.
Canva.
Yeah. So I can share more of that. Like whenever I create something, I can share a copy of it with you so that you're able to make a copy in your own little free Canva account and make it your own. Like take out my picture, put your picture in, but everything else is done. And you can just take it and upload it. Like you
Okay.
download it to your phone, or you download it and then you upload it into Instagram stories.
Okay.
I
so
am trying to be less technologically challenged.
I know, and that's why I'm helping you.
Oh,
Yes,
well,
which is
Steal my
awesome.
stuff, because we're going to be running the same challenge groups anyway. Like you're in my group. So there's no point in you reinventing the wheel,
True.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
you're ahead
Angel,
of me
I don't know
because-
what I would do.
Just
Caroline, you're
without
ahead of me
you.
because I'm like, what chat thread? I'm like, it's in Messenger. I mean, like, when
Yeah,
did you
yeah.
send this?
Messenger.
Yeah. So what I'll do is, like, when I first create it, maybe I'll share it in that, but then like long term, because
How
it
do
takes me longer to like make a file, put it in the group, organize
Oh,
it, and all
yeah.
that stuff. So I'll try to remember to like create like a little like a library for you guys for long term use to always go back to. But sometimes it's quicker for me to just shoot it out in a bubble like that, to where you instantly
So
get a
if
little.
I haven't seen it yet, how do I go find it?
Well, first of all, make sure your notifications are turned on for Messenger, that in your phone settings, so that whenever I message you, the chat bubble immediately pops up on your phone.
Yes.
And you can either, so like if it's somebody you don't want to hear from or it's not important, drag it down and exit out, but it'll still be marked unread in your messages. And when you're ready to check your messages for the day, you'll see it. Just like email, it's all in boldface when you haven't read it yet, and it goes to regular whenever you have. Or you can click it and it immediately opens it up and you can read it.
On.
Yeah.
I think my notifications are on, but
We'll look at it next time you come to class if you're unsure.
Saturday.
I'll try to find it. I'll
Yeah.
try to find the chat thread,
Yeah.
and if I can't find it, I'll let you know.
Yeah. And there's some really great Instagram story trainings out there that I can,
Okay.
that is always
All right.
shared in the trainings and stuff. So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
All
I
right.
know my
And
daughter
Jill,
said, my daughter keeps telling me, Mom, I probably would have done this way. And, oh, no, you don't want to do that.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
At least,
Yeah.
at least she does. She knows Facebook. I never allowed my kids on Facebook when they were in elementary school. So as a result, neither one of them have ever touched Facebook. They've moved
Yeah.
on to Instagram and Snapchat. So
Right.
now that I could use their help, they're like, no help. They're like, oh, we don't do Facebook. That we
Well,
like
and
only
some,
grown-ups do that.
oh yeah. Well, some, you kind of figure out like where
Old people.
your people are. But right now, I mean, I'm in both places. I'm on Facebook, but I'm also in Instagram stories. And I do believe that is a great, solid place
Yeah.
to start.
Yeah.
God, I have not even looked at
Realizing that.
Instagram.
And don't even bother,
hardly
don't
opened
even
Instagram.
worry. Right now, I would tell you, don't even worry about creating a Facebook business page right off the bat.
Oh no.
Just
Okay.
start with your personal profile. And because
I was gonna
that's
ask
starting, yes, that's starting with the people who already know you, are connected to
Mhm.
you.
Okay.
They're what you call the warm market. I hate calling them terms like that, but like these are people that already know, like, and trust you. They're already in your world.
Okay.
They're going to be curious. And when you post to your personal profile, and people find it interesting, the more likes and comments you get on it, Facebook goes, oh, everybody likes what Caroline's talking about. Let me push it out to more of her friends and make sure that they see it in their newsfeed. And they do that. When you cross over into the business page, that's when you're wanting to start to grow outside of your immediate warm market and start to build an audience for long-term
Right.
of other people outside and of people that you already know right now. So what you see me doing over on my business page is something that I started a couple years ago, like last year, really hard. But my page has been there for a couple of years, but last year I really started growing my audience. But that's a whole nother training. That's a whole nother level of, how to find people who, and target them. Yeah. So start with your immediate.
Yeah.
Start with your immediate. Do your Facebook profile, personal page. Do your Facebook stories. Do your Instagram. The same exact thing you post on Facebook, post on Instagram, because not all the same people who are on Facebook are on Instagram, or they don't check them all the same day. So just everything you post to Instagram, post it to Facebook. Everything you post to your Instagram stories, post to your Facebook stories. Instagram.
I'm trying to get better for Facebook because I'm more on Instagram because I have certain family members that I don't know.
On
I'm
Facebook?
getting better.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
On Facebook, you can customize.
As you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's the deal. On
So-
Facebook, I encourage you to have your posts be public unless they are like about like your babies or something. And then I would say, if you feel like if it has like what school they go to or something like that, and you're nervous about that information being public, then customize your audience so that it's only for friends.
Right.
But, if it's a generic post of, you smiling with your kid or your grandkid or your niece or your nephew or your dog, just let that be public, as long as you're not giving away information that would make that person like some kind of random weirdo hunt them down at their school or something, that's a real threat to some people, because they have that person who unfortunately is abusive or has been in jail, and they have to live with that reality. So I always want to make sure you're being safe. And if you have someone in your past or within your family circle or your, ex-friend circle that is like that, or if it's a fear in your mind, like honor that. Like, don't do something outside of your common sense, good judgment and what you need to do. But you do want to make sure that you're sharing enough things publicly so that when people start to start to want to send you friend requests from either work or the gym or the new neighbor, like they start to see a little bit of what you're about, and they don't only see your fitness posts, because then will go, oh, I don't know if I want to friend her. But if they see that you're a normal person and you have real life things going on and you're not just trying, you know what I'm saying? Right?
That does make sense. That makes sense, because I was like, okay, well, I'm doing this fitness stuff, but then I also have my family stuff.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, I'm
share
more
your
of a
life.
real person, not just all about.
You want to share your life. This is a part of your life, but it is not all of what you are and who you are. People want to see who you are and what's important to you. And the way that they know that is by what you consistently post. So you're going to learn more about that in your Teammade University training, when they start talking about your avatar and knowing your niche market and being able to post to appeal to the people who would most likely want to connect to you and want to buy from you, right? So they'll go into more detail about that. But I definitely say post to your personal profile. Make sure that, think about and think about like 2 or 3 things that are important to you, and make sure you're posting about it consistently. The avatar training will go into more detail, but to help you just, first and foremost, get started, like just think, okay, I'm going to, share something about my coaching, fitness, nutrition, something in that realm. It doesn't have to be the same thing every day. It's a different part of my health and fitness journey every day. And then I'm going to post either about my pets or my spouse or my children or my other day job, my day job, or the event that I went to this weekend, or, like all the other real life stuff. So they see I'm a well-rounded person. And then maybe I share just like an inspirational quote or motivation or scripture that I found, that was like, I really liked in my devotional time today, or I got really reflective and I had a thought and I'm just going to type it out instead of keeping it to myself, So that it's like I said, you're living out loud is the only, it's you're being you. You're just making it public and sharing it with people outside of you and your mind, right?
Right.
So that they know what's going on. If you keep it all to yourself, it benefits nobody, and nobody knows what's going on, and you can't benefit from it either.
That's good.
But keep it super simple. Whatever you post on Facebook, post to Instagram. When you're doing your workouts, take little snippet videos. If you want, set up what I do. I set up my phone. Look, watch, I'll show you my little thing. You do not have to buy this, but I bought this for like $30. It holds my phone and a light.
Oh, look at that.
See? It's
We need one of those.
And see, it makes me like much better for you guys to hear, right? Because without the light, look.
Oh yeah, look at that.
But when I'm working out in the morning, like, and it's dark, and the lighting is not great. So this is what it looks like. It's real small, and it can sit on your tabletop. Yeah, it's a little tripod, but these extend out if I want to make it taller. So I can have it like.
Share the link of where to get that.
Yes, seriously.
Yeah, I have it on Amazon. I bought it on Amazon. Like I said, it was like $35, something like that. Real simple.
That's a really good.
It holds. Look, it holds your phone. That's my phone right there.
Yeah.
Okay. And it can turn sideways.
Okay, I need.
So what I do, if I think about it, I'll record a little thingy in the morning to show you exactly what I do. But when I get up in the morning and I'm doing my workout, I pull up my Beachbody On Demand. I set up my little tripod. I first start with the phone in my hand. Mel watches my stories, so she knows. Most of the time I start with the phone in my hand and I say, good morning, I'm making my Energize. This is, I had my devotional time already, or I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do my devotion after my workout today because I woke up stressed, or, I have this going on today or whatever. It's like if I woke up and my friend was my roomie that day, I'm telling her this is what I have to do today. Or this is like how I, if I slept well or not. You know what I'm saying? Like I just talked to them. Like I imagine it's Caroline or Mel on the other side of the phone of my video and I'm talking to you. Right? And like for a minute, 30 seconds, a minute, 2-minute clip maybe. And I upload that into stories when I'm ready. I don't do it right away, because if I do it right away, I'm sucking up my time of that morning that I need to start working out. So I record it on my camera roll in 1-minute increments, because anything longer than a minute will not upload into your stories.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay, so I record myself, and when I see it's getting close to the 1 minute, if I know I'm going to talk longer, I press stop and then I press record again, and I recorded for the next, I finish what I'm going to say, and then I stop my recording, and it's in my camera, it's just sitting there. I finished doing, I set up my tripod, I put my phone in my tripod, turn my light on, press play. On the very first time that I'm doing a move that I feel like, okay, maybe I'll record myself doing this move, I press record while I'm doing the move. When I'm done doing the move, I press stop. I keep doing my workout. Next time I come to a move that I feel like, oh, hey, I'll show them this move. I haven't shown this move. I record it. I just do like 2 or 3 moves. Sometimes I do more if I'm doing like 2 different kind of workouts and I want to show 2 clips from one and 2 or 3 clips from another to show the versatility or whatever. But most of the time I show like 2 or 3 clips, and I save the video's just sitting in my camera. And when I'm ready, I go into Instagram stories and I upload each little clip. And, if I want to add a filter or a little sticker or something, then I do. If I don't have time for all that, I just upload it and I let it upload. The only thing that I do though, and if I do try to make sure that I make time for, is on my little video clips, I try to create a one-liner text of like, oh my gosh, this move burned my booty good, or I really like this move, or like this, or something. Or I make it like what Mel did, super reflective, where I say, oh my gosh, I remember when I couldn't even do this move. And today I was able to, do the entire set with the trainer.
Right.
Or I say, this is what I'm really loving about this program right now is that, I'm done in 30 minutes, or whatever.
I'm loving that.
Yeah. Or I really love how much stronger I've gotten with this program. Look at me. I'm doing shoulder presses with 20s. And when, I would have never imagined doing that. I started with 5s, and that I remember when 5s were a struggle. So it's sharing a piece that inspires somebody else or lets somebody else know like what the benefit is of doing that workout. And it starts to create them imagining like how it would benefit them. Right. And then, so it gets in the person's mind, and they think about it and they think on it and they think on it. And the next time they're in a conversation with somebody and somebody else is like, yeah, I've been thinking about doing this workout, whatever. Then they go, oh yeah, I follow one of my ex-coworkers, or like my friend of a friend, I follow her on Instagram and I saw her stories the other day. She was doing that program. She called it 80-Day Obsession, and then like you don't know this stuff is going on, but it is. And you find out about it later when that person finally reaches out to you and says, hey, I might be interested in your challenge group, or I might be interested in that program you're doing. Can you tell me more about it? And then they start to open up to you, and you start to learn how they even got to the point where they were ready to say yes and sign up and invest in themselves and start for real. And so think of every little story and every little post that you are posting as a little seed that you're sowing into the soil of their heart. And it's just like Mark 4, whatever kind of soil they have, whatever kind, how is representative of how ready they are, how open and willing and trusting they are to receive the seed that you're depositing. And so if they're stressed, if they have a heart that is like distrusting and stressful, or, quickly, like they're motivated really quickly, but then like they doubt themselves, super quick. I mean, that's all heart stuff. And that's going to determine how quickly or how long it takes, how often they need to see you, how many more times the seed needs to be planted and watered for that little thing, that little seed to sprout something that they go, maybe I'll reach out to her today.
Right.
Think about it. Even in the advertising world, I think it's like, I'm trying to remember my stats. It's like people have to see something, I think a minimum of 5 times before they consider acting on it, or they even remember seeing it and who they saw it, where they saw it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's, they know that. That's why we have commercials.
Yeah.
That's why they run the same commercial. They don't put a commercial out there and then one time and they're done. They run the same commercial for a set amount of time, and because they know that even if you're subliminally seeing it over and over and over again while you're just trying to watch Grey's Anatomy, that it gets in here, And so when you do need that product, you're going to think of them before you think of anything else, because they consistently put it in front of your eyes.
Right.
So that's all you're doing. That's literally what you're doing. And it's the same thing that our pastors do in our churches. They teach, I don't know about you, but my pastor, he has certain messages, certain sermon series that he teaches every year. Now he teaches them fresh, and he's always adding and growing and learning and researching more so he can add more depth to it. But some of the messages he does the same series several times every year. So every time we come around to springtime, he's, around Easter time, he's doing this series, and he's doing this series, and he's doing this series. It never gets old for me. I'm always learning and growing. But, sometimes it's that third time around, you pick something up that you didn't hear the first time.
True. That's very true.
That inspires you to live in a different way. So. Same thing. Anything else?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm good.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much. I know it's like a sacrifice for you guys to be up, but thank y'all for being here.
But it's really helpful. And
it's a great call. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm excited for all of you. Because you each have your own little personalities and strengths and stories, and I only know like the tip of the iceberg of your stories. And so I'm honored to be a part of it, but I'm really excited to see what God does through y'all and where He brings you, and to see y'all like really shine the best part of yourselves, because there's so much about you guys that I wish like 100 other people knew.
Yeah.
That right now they don't.
We need to get together sometime, all of us, because I've gotten to know Kathy, through PIO, and then we're team teaching and stuff like that. No, I haven't gotten to hang with you except for that one Sunday, and that was awesome.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
To kind of like,
we'll schedule something. We'll plan like a team dinner or something fun. Maybe not just sit down dinner. Maybe we should plan something fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We need it, and we need to sneak Mel into a Saturday workout. Make her come work.
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, that would be it. We could.
Mel, where do you live?
Go after Saturday workout,
right?
And then go have like a big lunch after, because we're all hungry after after PIO. We do turbo on
avocado toast.
I could do PIO,
and then we do PIO at 10:30.
I am so not I am not organized to be doing turbo. I am so lost. I did it like one time, and I got so frustrated.
Yeah.
And I'm done.
She
Well,
loves
yeah,
Paio
fine.
though. You
Like
should come to
Paio.
a 10:30
Oh, I
Paio.
love Paio.
And
That's where I
then-
lost my weight. at
Yeah.
My very first program.
9:30. I mean 10:30.
You can do
10:30
10:30
on Saturday.
Yeah, make the drive up to Plano.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit of a hike for you, just like it is
Mel,
for
where
me.
do you
'cause
live?
She's in McKinney.
I live in McKinney.
Oh, well, I mean, I subbed for Angel and McKinney. The drive wasn't too bad. Are you very far north?
Yeah, I'm over by the hospital on the 380 in Lake Forest.
She's like my area, just a little closer
Okay.
to the tollway. Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
bad, really. It's
If
just
you jump on
during
the tollway,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a Saturday.
Morning, you're not going to be hitting rush hour traffic. It's a lot
Yeah.
faster. It's a lot faster.
And we'll make it worth it because we'll we'll get like a big breakfast afterwards
That would be
sounds
fun. Yeah, that'd be great.
Good.
That's
That would
and
be
just-
awesome.
and just hang out. And we'll talk about something fun we can do, like other than eat and work out.
But that's pretty darn fun.
I know.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is. Yeah.
I like doing that, but some people maybe.
I love doing that.
Yeah.
That's
Other than
like-
sitting around drinking coffee
Yes.
and eating eggs. you
Oh,
know.
I love me coffee.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Too much.
We've Kathy and I and Caroline and I have each
Yeah.
gone for like breakfast after,
Okay.
after,
That's
and they know that's the one and only time I reach for the little coffee mate creamers now and pour it in my coffee. It's like my treat. Yeah,
Absolutely.
because I don't buy it from my house anymore. But
Nope.
I stopped officially this week.
oh,
So
okay.
good.
I'm gonna stop the recording
Okay.
so
Okay.
that not everybody